leave me scarred. Glitching pleasure, shut me down. Pixel queen, wear my crown.
Yeah, I think it finally went live on YouTube. I had to struggle for a bit. We got it. I did get my JCBW matches taped, and I've got one greatest hits from the first season. Episode 7 from 2012. Haven't assembled them yet. I recorded them for. Yeah, you can see my logo still there.
Broadcasting on Rock and Roll 100fm.com origin, Dalton, Georgia. Signal, strong.
I got them taped before I went to bed.
Electric.
Open for streaming, and I support ICE. Now, at the same time, I don't see nothing wrong with calling them out for the way they did treat them. But now these two were violent agitators. One was trying to run over ICE, and the other had a gun. He came prepared. He was breaking things. He was prepared to shoot if he needed to. I don't feel sorry for these agitators. After I seen the video, I have come to the conclusion that he was violent and he had intents to be violent. That's the difference. That's the difference between even the Bundy Ranch. I'm seeing that argument. They were trying to stop people from grabbing their land. They were doing a show to show that they weren't going to let them grab their land. That's a different stand. Kyle Rittenhouse is running from two thugs trying to hurt him. That's another stand. I'm sorry. These were two violent agitators. The woman tried to run over a guy, an ICE agent, with a vehicle. The other guy was there to stir trouble. He didn't get a chance. He got interrupted before he got the chance. The woman getting pushed down was what stopped him from hurting somebody. He was going to hurt somebody. He was prepared to hurt somebody. I mean, that's not thought crime. I mean, he came to the fight with a gun. And he had intentions of doing harm. I mean, that video shows it. He was violent. He was screaming. He was swinging violent at ICE. And then when they drove off, he started breaking their tailpipes and stuff. I mean, breaking the lights and everything else. He was a violent man. And he came prepared for violence. He did exactly what Antifa told him to do. He showed up. Now his plans got foiled. Now, yes, they shouldn't have shoved the woman. I'm going to say that. They probably shouldn't have. But I'm not going to make excuses for this thug. His family's identified him, by the way. I'm reading his family's identified him. It is not AI. Unless the whole shebang is fake. Yeah, there's a possibility. I'm going to be honest. There's a possibility for that. It could be just one big show to take all of our rights away. You cannot trust this media. You cannot trust this government. And you can't trust the music industry. Because they're all representing China, who owns their record companies. I may have grew up liking a lot of those people, but I disagree with them. And I've got the right to this. I reserve the right to disagree with people. And I'm going to disagree with the people, the Constitution people here. These people, these agitators are mean business. They're there to stir up trouble. These people live by the Constitution and nothing else, and you can't be like that. That's one-dimensional thinking. I'm not a one-dimensional thinker, by the way. I try to see the whole bird's eye view. There's this one game, Valhalla or something, and you get to go above and you get to look at with a bird's eye view in the game. I tried all. Now I'm not. Sometimes I'm one-dimensional too. I try not to be. I try not to be one-dimensional, because you can't be in this world that there's a whole layer that you don't see. There's frequencies that you don't see. You can't be one-dimensional in this multi-frequency world that we live in, because that's what it is. It's multiple frequencies. When you're seeing ghosts and stuff, you're seeing another dimension. It's multifunctional. It's like FM radio. It's like turning through the dials. I've refused to be one-dimensional. She lost the motorcycle? No, they're still there. I can't decide whether I want to keep it or sell it. I still like it. Now, another thing. If the mayor and Tim Waltz had been letting the police do their job, I just wouldn't have been having to deal with them hoodlums in the street. The police would have been dealing with them. No, you know what they did? They stood with their arms crossed and watching while all this violence is taking place. I'm not going to blame the police department. They done what they were told. The police department did what they were told. I blame the mayor and Tim Waltz, the troublemakers, the two head troublemakers. You got all the little mini troublemakers on the street, and then you got the leadership. The leadership is Ilhan Omar and AOC. These the top agitators. These are the ones in Congress, the congressional agitators. By the way, Diane Lemon has finally been charged by a jury, by grand jury. The judges are refusing to touch him, but he's been dealt with a grand jury. What he did was a crime. Journalism doesn't cover what he did. You don't get to disrespect the law. You don't get to disrespect people's right to worship. You know, that's a part of the First Amendment. He violated their First Amendment. He violated their First Amendment when he went in there starting agitation of a church. I wouldn't do that to a mosque. I wouldn't do that to a synagogue, and I wouldn't do it to a church. And I don't even attend church. Yes, I'm a Christian. I don't attend church. You don't get to break the law. You don't get to break the law. Journalism doesn't cover that. You know, that's one of the things journalists has to do. They have to try to make sure they follow the law. Like even when they're sneaking. I mean, one time O'Keefe got charged. His people got charged just for taping people. And in some states, they do have wiretap laws. But now what he did was despicable. That's not responsible journalism. What was that word that they did to Alex Jones when he broke into Bohemian Grove? Ambush journalism is what that's called. At least Alex Jones wouldn't hurt nobody. He just went in to see what the fuck was going on. He didn't interfere with their meetings, did he? He didn't interfere with them. He got out, he snuck out. And then he snuck out, and then he put it up for everybody to see. Don Lennon was not doing any journalism. He was doing harassment is what he was doing. They're going to show people that either you're going to support masses of undocumented illegal aliens, or you're going to be harassed, hounded, and they're not going to give you no peace. I know what I'm talking about because I've had it for years here in Dalton. Ever since I started speaking out. I was harassed by these illegal aliens. Harassed. And some of their supporters. The minute I started. Had to argue with that guy at the paper all the time. He went on eventually. He moved back to Texas. He ain't a real Texan, though. He wasn't no real Texan. He's a phony Texan. He eventually moved back to Texas. I put up with their harassment for years. They're not going to give you any peace if you don't support that. And I'm never going to support your illegal aliens. You got that? I've been calling for it for 20 plus years, and I'm not about to stop. Indeed, I was finally glad I was finally getting to see a little bit of action. It's not completely what I want. I want more, to be honest. I want them all to be removed. Not just the criminals. Because I've lived with it for 30 years. You can't tell me about it. You can't tell me nothing about it, you do-gooders. I ain't no gooder. I've never been a gooder, by the way. I always used to make fun of that guy, you know, V. I've been watching that lately. I watched about 5 or 6 episodes. He called him gooder. You know what? Back when I was a kid, I didn't even realize why he called him a gooder. I got to paying attention to him. I said, no, I know why he's calling him gooder. He's a damn liberal about it. He was even liberal about Diana and her rights. You can't always bleed hard about every being's rights. Some beings don't deserve their rights, to be honest. They've forfeited their right to have rights. Do-gooders hurt this country more than anything. I'm not a fucking do-gooder. I'll never be a fucking do-gooder. You know what? I'd always pick on him back then. I loved it. Gooder. But I didn't understand, fully grasp the concept of what he was talking about. I did this time. Watching it 40 years later, I realized why he called him gooder. I'm telling you, he was even bleeding his heart about Diana. And Diana's like them scums that Isa took out. They're evil. I don't grieve evil people. I'm sorry. I know Jesus can redeem them. But the Bible also tells you that you can be stupid and end your life. It says that. There's all kinds of warning about not being stupid. It's in the Proverbs, the Proverbs and the Psalms, and the wisdom books. It's in the wisdom books. It's in the wisdom book. Do I love a lot of those rock and rollers that are out there speaking up? Yes, I do. But I'm not going to agree. I'm going to agree to disagree. And I'm not going to be persuaded. And I'm not going to change my mind. And I ain't going to let the religious text twisters change my mind. There's another little thing about the alien. First of all, that was Israel's laws. You see, you got to take things in context. That is not the law of our land. And God never completely called us to follow His law. He told us to follow the Constitution. Follow the Ten Commandments. And yes, He's never called us to not follow the Ten Commandments. He just said you're free from the penalty of it. That doesn't mean you just go out here and be as bad as you want to be and treat people as bad as you want to be because you're forgiven. And I fell when it comes to enemies. I fell big time. I'll tell you that. I fell. Sometimes I hate them. I'm not supposed to. Eventually, if they keep pushing, I'll hate them. I don't hate them up front. I always give them the benefit of what God calls me to do. But eventually, the line gets broke. And when the line gets broke, I no longer care. It's like I was telling you. It's the IDGAF syndrome. I eventually suffer from IDGAF syndrome. And once I get there, I don't care. But that's only reserved for certain individuals that basically keep pushing it. If I have to stand for God for it one day, I'll just have to stand for it. I can't help it. Once I get the I don't give a fuck syndrome, I don't care. God, I'm going to bump them and get the old damn police on me. I'm going to rightfully just say they have a right to their opinion. Now, the sad part is they don't feel the same about me. That's where these extreme liberals, they're not even liberal. These extreme communists, it's either you're their way or it's the highway, and you deserve a death camp. You deserve a concentration camp. That's the way they're thinking it. And they did it in Russia in the 1900s, and they'll do it in America in the 2000s. The 20th century, and they'll do it in the 21st as well. Communism hasn't changed. Indeed, if you read history, you see, it's got a textbook. It's got a textbook. What they did in Africa, what they're doing here. It follows. It follows code. It's got a code of conduct. They don't feel the same about us. I mean, you watch it. You watch these bands like Red Apparatus. If you're a Trumper, don't come to my show. I don't say I wouldn't even turn away a liberal. If I'm in the entertainment business, I'm in the entertainment business. I'm not turning away anybody. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to listen to me. Especially the first time I make my opinion known, I'm going to be like Kid Rock. I'm going to be hated. You know, there's people protesting what Kid Rock is trying to do and get some of these fucking fees off their tickets that have made ticket prices. And they're too busy worrying about whether Kid Rock's a Trump supporter or not, and they're anti him just because he's pro-Trump. It's crazy, man. There you have to take out a loan to get tickets now, unless you get a deal. And it's that second-hand market. The second-hand market hurts things more than anything. But guess what? It's come out to Ticketmaster, and that's what he's exposed. Ticketmaster and them are a part of the second-hand, where they get the tickets, and they take the one ticket, and they bloat it 10 times, and they make 10 times over the amount that's on the face. There needs to be some regulations in that. There should probably be where you can only sell, so I say it should probably be regulated somewhere around 5-10% of what you paid for it. That way you do make a little profit, but you're not extorting people. I mean, it's unethical. It's unethical, because that's what happened. I'm telling you, there were several shows I looked at that I was wanting to go to, and I didn't go to them. You know, it was going to cost me about $700 to go see Nine Inch Nails if I bought 3 tickets. I just didn't go. It's that secondhand market. It needs to be regulated. It needs to be heavily regulated, with prosecution for violators. And you got people out here rejecting what Kid Rock is doing, all because he likes Trump. It's ridiculous, man. Pearl Jam tried to do the same thing in the 90s, by the way. Everybody come against them. I wish that's one place where I supported. I'm not completely against the things that even both Nirvana nor Pearl Jam talked about. Like mistreating people. Like mistreating gays and lesbians and transgender people. You shouldn't mistreat them just because you don't like them. Don't like them don't mean give you a chance to mistreat them. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. Biblically speaking, you can't. Even God wouldn't have you mistreat them. I'm going to tell you, even the Lord would not be over here mistreating those people. He wouldn't be treating them like trash. He wouldn't be hurting them. You know, they did that in the 90s and the 80s and 90s. They would literally, they used to bring them to school. Tell their nightmares. They would torment them. They would harass them. You don't have a right to harass anybody, whether you agree with them or not. God did not have you hurting people. I don't disagree with That's one of the reasons why I had no problems with supporting Pearl Jam or Nirvana or any of those, even though I didn't totally agree with them. I sort of agreed with them. I somewhat agreed with them. I agreed with them on human rights. On basic human rights, I agreed with them. I just disagree. I'm not with, well, you're either down with it, because that's another thing they like to do, too. They like to tell us that we have to be completely just 100%. And I'm not for that. One, I'm an American citizen. I don't have to be for anything. I don't even have to really be for America if I don't want to be. You know, that was the beauty about the system, is you could hate it if you wanted to. Now, should you? No, because it gave you a bunch of rights that you won't have everywhere else. You should at least respect that, even if you don't like how the government's run. But when it comes to basic human rights, and yes, I will say, I'm seeing a little bit of overforce, and I hear the arguments. But now that doesn't mean I have to be completely anti-ICE and completely against the operation, because I'm not, because I've been calling for it for years. But now I would call for sensible, constitutional versions of it, not hurting people. I wouldn't even be support hurting people. Yeah, I'm telling you, if I was in the leader fight, I would be like, hey, we can't hurt people. That's not what we're here for. Now, if they hurt you, like if he had pulled that gun out, and he had him shot at him, or even attempted to shoot him, then it would have been 100%, because it's not 100%. I can't, in other words, I don't have enough evidence that I couldn't charge the ICE agent, because he was violent and he was intending for violence. He was prepared for violence. So that's the difference. Kyle Rittenhouse was there helping to protect the buildings, and he wasn't there for, his main purpose wasn't to cause trouble. He was really there to save the businesses, and he had two things. He ran from them. He ran from them, and then when he was cornered, shot him. He was cornered. There's a difference. This guy, and here's another argument. People says he had the right to carry. He was there to cause trouble. His actions have shown up days before. He was violent. He was there to cause trouble. That means he had that there as a backup, that if he got himself in trouble, he was going to hurt people. Now, there's a difference. I don't think that's constitutional. And from what I can tell, that's not what the forefathers meant. You get to get out here and make a bunch of trouble, and then pull a gun out and kill somebody after you cause the trouble. You're the troublemaker. You're the troublemaker. Now, I know they did cause trouble for Britain. They're trying to free themselves from them. That's a different thing. We don't need freeing from ICE. They're following the law. They're supposed to be rounding up criminal aliens. Where I disagree, and this is where the lefties are going to disagree with me at. I think it should be more than just the criminal aliens, because they already committed a crime by being here. They're already criminals. They don't have to do anything else. Just being here alone. But I'm going to tell you another thing. Those are usually the ones that violate the traffic law. You know, that's a big problem. People gets hurt. People gets killed. People gets their property damaged. People gets their property damaged. Vehicles cost a lot of money. And insurance don't want to pay you back what you got for it. They want to cheat you. There are a lot of the ones that's out here doing the DUIs and the traffic stuff. I mean, yes. We shouldn't just be rounding up. We should be getting them all. They don't follow our laws. They're not beholden to our laws. They don't even care. They don't even care to be American citizens. Don't sell me about all the stuff they do. Now, here's another thing. I will say this, and I agree with this talking point. If they've been here for years and years and years, and they've contributed to society, and have went around breaking laws, got businesses, maybe talk about that. I mean, there are people that talks about it. I'm a little tighter on it, because I've seen what mass does to your town. I'm tougher. I'm tough-hearted on it, but at the same time, I'm kind of lenient. I'm kind of lenient, kind of tough. I'm in between there. I'm moderate in that. I'm moderate. Maybe we could work like, I mean, if they hadn't been doing anything, then, I mean, a guy's been here for 30 years. He's had his family here. He's raised his family here. His children grew up here. They never even been to another country. I might be open to that. Little bit. I'm going to be very sparing on it. But I don't want to be completely cold-hearted, because that would make me just as bad as some people that have no heart. You know what I'm saying? I'd be just as wicked as the people I hate. Be just as wicked as the people I don't like. The people I usually get that I don't give a fuck about. You know, there's certain types of individuals that I get to the point where I don't give a fuck. And heartlessness is one of those areas. People that are heartless. That's why I didn't think nothing about, even though they were supporting causes that I didn't agree with, I would listen overall what they were saying. And I'm talking about people like Pearl Jam and Nirvana. And I would think, well, there's nothing wrong with basic human. I got an agreement here. There's nothing wrong with having basic human rights, you know. I mean, not totally. I can't give my stamp of approval on some of the things that they were supporting, but I can say that you should give them the respect as a human to live if they're not doing anything. If they're not doing anything to you, don't do anything to them. It don't matter what they look like. It don't even matter if they're a freak with a split tongue, and tattoos and piercings and all that stuff. You know, people look down on people for that too. And I say don't look down on them. I mean, I don't think it's that attractive in some forms. Some forms it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not bothered by the Gothic people. They don't bother me. Most of them don't bother me. Some people they don't bother me. I guess because I was used to going to those Marilyn Manson shows and I'd see them, and a lot of them are friendly. So, I just don't. I'm telling you, they're some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. They just disagree with you. They just don't, they've been pushed away from God. And why do you think they've been pushed away from God? Because of hateful ass people. Hateful ass people to look down on. God already knew that. That's why he told us to be the way we did. Don't you get it? That's why he's picky about how we are. He don't want us misrepresenting him. Because that's what happens. When we go out here and we're that way, we stain him. People get to thinking that's him. But then he don't like... Oh, I was reading I disagree with a lot of people. The very last book of the Old Testament tells you. He said it. I read it last night. He don't like the fake worship. He don't like fake worship. And he says, I'm sending a guy to be preparing the way. He's talking about, John the Baptist. And then he's going to come. He's basically telling them. And he says, and where you hate me and you have disdain for me and you don't love me, the heathen and the Gentile will love me. And they will be mine. Now here's the thing. A lot of people have turned that into hatred for the Jews. That's not what God was doing. Indeed, if you really pay attention, there's going to be a resurgence in the end. It's going to be these 144,000 of them. And he's going to take that 144,000 of them, and he's going to bless them, and he's going to give them their kingdom. In other words, the country of Israel. America isn't guaranteed a spot in the new kingdom. Russia is definitely not. I mean, I read some bad things about Russia. All these China, all these prominent countries right now are not guaranteed a spot in this kingdom. You know the nation that is guaranteed a spot in this kingdom? Israel. But now here's the thing, and this is what most people miss. I'm telling you something here. I haven't missed it. He's going to redeem those 144,000. And then when he redeems, there's going to be like they're going to be like the Christians of the You see, there's a period called the judgment period. There's the grace period. We're the grace period. Whenever that ends and the new period begins, the tribulation period, there is 144,000 Jews that he seals. He literally seals them. He puts a seal on them. Satan can't touch them. Now, I'm sure he might be able to harass them, because we get harassed. But now they got a seal. And out of those 144,000, he's going to rebuild the nation of it. This is where they get it wrong. Because these Judaizers, if you read the letters, you find out they're lying to you. I mean, I'm telling you, I used to be a big listener of John Hagee. He was bad on pushing that stuff. He was one of the worst. It's not biblical. God does not support every little evil action that people like Netanyahu does. It ain't wrapped up under blessings and cursings. And you're not going to be cursed for disagreeing with Netanyahu, because Netanyahu's evil anyway. He's a warmonger. He's no better than the warmongers that live here. He's just Jewish at all. He's in Israel. But now there's going to be 144,000 Jews that God has with in the tribulation. And they're going to be the ones that he restores the nation of Israel through. And then that nation of Israel will go on through it to the end of time. And then he creates the new heaven and the new earth. And I don't know about that. I can't talk about that. I don't know whether that kingdom's still there after that or not. But I know it will be here to the end of time. In other words, it'll be here. He supposedly has 1,000 years of a reign. And that's when the Israel that's Israel. It's not going to be that current Israel is right now, in other words. And I'm going to piss some people off. I don't care. I'm going to piss the Judaizers off. They don't like you talking about this. But it's going to be that Israel that goes into the eternity till he restores that 1,000 years. And it's like I said, these other nations are not guaranteed a spot. They might be there, you never know. If they're there at the end times when he comes and he restores the kingdom, and they might get to pick it back up. They might be restore their damage. In other words, under his reign, they'll pick up, and there's 1,000 years of peace, and those nations may go into this 1,000 years. But the only one that's guaranteed, you know, though, he used to be this guy in the 80s. He did those commercials. He did the Ruffles commercials. He also had a show on PBS. A cooking show. He was a Cajun. He go, guaranteed. The only nation that is guaranteed to step its foot into the 1,000 years of Jesus is Israel. And it's going to be those 144 that he seals in the last days that they come out of. See what I'm saying? It's not these current day. I mean, I'm telling you, you can't criticize them. You can't say nothing. You're evil. You're anti-Semitic. And that's not what the scriptures say. Do you realize that they really get their Noahide law that they're talking about? You know there's going to be big portions of the Bible, the New Testament's going to be banned. And that Old Testament book. Malachi will be banned. I believe it's Malachi. I read it last night. I got exactly what he was saying. He said, what you got, I'm taking and giving it to the Gentiles and the heathen, and they will love me, where you have disdain for me in your heart. You don't like me. They're going to love me. He was telling them that. They're going to love me. He hated their fake worship. He hated all of it. He didn't like none of it. He told them they had disdain for him. He told them they didn't love him. But the Gentile will. I mean, you can read all through the letters about the harassment, the targeted harassment that the Israelites did to the Jews did to the Paul and them. I mean, they'd troublemaker. They were troublemakers, and you can see it in the text. Just like these troublemakers here trying to stir up trouble for Trump. Trying to stop his living up to his promise. See, that is one promise that he was living up to. He was trying to get the illegals. And they're trying to hinder him from doing his job. They'll do worse. They'll do worse. They showed you what they do over 4 years of Biden. They showed you what they want to do, and they're having hissy fits over this troublemakers. And you know those people other than climbed the Capitol building, the ones that broke the windows out were the agitators. They were the agitators. They were right-wing agitators called the Q. And I don't call for, I always said the ones that did violence should probably stay in prison. You know, they did arrest people like Stuart Rhodes and them. You know, I heard he didn't even go. They gave him the longest time. Him and Joe Biggs were two of the two that got big time. And all you don't know what Joe Biggs did? He shook a fence and how to fuck around and find out. Shook a fence. A fence that had no business being there, by the way. There's no reason for that fence to be there. No reason for that fence to have been there. I mean, the American people does pay for those buildings. It's not like those buildings are theirs. You know what I'm saying? The taxpayers paid for that. They got no business fencing them off for the public. The public pays for them. And then, like I saw that video the other day of a guy advertising a new type of phone that protects your privacy. They use what they call geofencing. And anybody that was in that area, they arrested. That ain't right, man. There's people that lived in that area. Were they bothering them too? Were they bothering them too? I asked that question.
Signal strong. Mood electric.
This is not your grandfather's radio. This is the future.
Where's the outcry? Where's the outcry from these liberals? There wasn't none. Indeed, you know what they were doing? They were celebrating. I didn't even celebrate these two's death, by the way. I thought it was kind of pathetic that they would take this lawlessness to the fact that it costed them their lives. That's what it is. It's lawlessness. How many has she done? She's done 3. I don't know if she's going to get all of them today or not. They're willing to lose their life for this lawlessness. Now she didn't get out. I figured she would because it took me a long time to find her. I think they're willing to. This is the hill they're going to die on. I mean, really, that was the hill that Good and him. How do you say his name? I don't even know how to pronounce it. What was his first name? I'll call him by his first name. I can't even remember his first name. To be honest, he's so unimportant to me, I done forgot his name, to be honest. He really is. He's unimportant. He was an agitator. He was there to cause trouble. It doesn't matter that he died because he was there to cause trouble. He reaped what he sowed, in other words. I mean, even Jesus, he told his disciples that. You live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. He was there to cause trouble. He had his gun loaded. Locked and loaded and scoped. The scope's what got me on. The scope is proof. You take a scope when you're hunting or you're target practicing. The scope alone tells you what you need to know. He just didn't get a chance to hurt one of them. I wouldn't even put doubt there, and I know this is stalk crime because I can't know where he's stalk crime. I can't know his stalk. I'd be willing to bet he was willing to target one and take him. I mean, I couldn't go far as to saying that. That's why I could never convict. I could never convict him, even though I thought excessive force was used. Because I can't get thoughts out of my mind about certain things that this individual had. I mean, I know it's not a crime to have a scope. Right. It's like it ain't a crime to have those buck stops they had their fits about. They had the fits about the buck stops. Oh, talk about an uproar. It's not illegal to have a scope either. I guess it depends on where you live. I think they have outlawed them in some places. I had a BB gun with a scope, by the way. I used to love it. You put that little red dot. Now the thing about this, the one I had, it was the one that was off. I always told you had to shoot a little past the red dot, because if you shot the red dot, it'd get you off target. So you had to figure out which degree you had to shoot it. My scope was as off as off. The scope was bad. I loved it, man. I eventually quit using it, though, because it was off, and it didn't mess me up. See, I'm basically a good shot without a scope. Now, it just also depends on the wind. Like if I was outside, it depended on the wind. It depended on how far it was. Like, the closer, the better with me. But now, I could still hit the target far away. It's just it was the closer was the better. I don't know why I was so picky. You know, they tried to get me to take those classes in school, and I wouldn't take them because I wasn't a fighter. I was a musician. I wouldn't even take the archery. And then I learned later on when I started target practicing, I was a good damn target. I could have done it. But now I noticed that the wind, and sometimes I get the target way too far. Like, you know what song I got so far? A.P.S. What did I say that, you know, the language about how far the bullet will shoot. Sometimes I'd get the target past and then the bullet would fall down before it ever hit the target. That was a problem I would have. The feet. But I would never say I was but I know I was pretty good at getting the targets. So I started doing it without the scope. Because that scope would mess me up. Big fat bitch, get the fuck on. In fact, fuck on, you old bitch. I was really good at that stuff. I should have took them classes, but I wouldn't take them. This was some of that stuff they tried to get me to take. Tried to get to take the gym. Of course, I knew my daddy wasn't going to pay for that gym. I would have loved the gym. I'd have probably been one of them gym nuts of the 1990s if I'd went to attended that gym. Because I would have got obsessed, because I do. There's no feeling like it. I get in there and I get a feeling. My health is what gets in the way. I'm telling you, I'd probably be I'm going to tell you something, though. The planking. I'm already seeing results in just a few days. I started at 5 days ago, and I only did 4 of it. Because I skipped one day. I don't need to skip. Indeed, I usually do it right before I go on the gaming. And then I would do it after I go gaming. I need to start taking breaks and getting up and doing it. I was telling my sister and my mama that this morning. So I'm starting to feel tight in here. I'm telling you, I'm tight right in here where you have your abs at. Just a few days. I was kind of loose there. I was having the loose skin. I was even seeing it in Florida down there. I'm getting tight, man. I'm going to start pulling my chin in, too, to see if that helps. See if it has exercised that chin. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm just going to experiment. I'm going to do an experiment when I'm doing the planking. I'm telling you, 4 days, I'm tight through there, man. I'm tight. I gotta get up and do it here in a little bit. Do my weights, too. Because I didn't hit the gym this week. At least get the workouts. Nothing's better than the gym, though. I get a feeling when I go into the gym. I ain't one of these people who sits, I love it. I get an energy. What a rush. You know, like that hawk and animal. They had that water rush. I get a rush. I got the same way with the boxing, by the way. Oh, I love the boxing. And I killed my knuckles. I need the shadow box. That's like the planking. Your body gets the full workout. So you have to pull your legs. You have to stand up on your toes. You pull your legs and pull your gut in. And then you push up sort of. You don't push too far. But it's supposed to be even good for pain and stuff. It's supposed to be even good for that, like people with back problems. Now, I don't do the floor one. I can't get down on the floor. But I do a wall one. A wall and a door one. Mine's the door, but of course, that little pad, that don't really hurt the door, because I don't even feel like there's any pressure going on the door. It mostly goes on that boxing pad. There, I thought I was wasting my money on that. I saw one of my buddies I followed doing it, and I thought, I think I'm going to try that. He was talking about how good he was feeling after doing it. I've been reading his post, and I thought, well, I'm going to try that. So I can't get down on the floor. So I thought, well, I'll try the door one. I read up on it. So there's two. They especially tell you, like, if you're starting out, start with the standing one with the wall. I have to do the door because I don't have a wall. I don't have my wall's brick, and it'd hurt my hands. But I can't do my door with the pad on it. And I'm telling you, it does work. It's tightening. I'm tightening right in there. I bet he's tightening. I bet he's feeling this up tight. Well, I added it to my routines. I didn't know much about that, by the way. I went and looked it up. When I see him posting, I said, what's planking? And then I was thinking, what's he doing? He put a video up. What's he doing? I had to ask to watch it. And I thought, oh, he's doing an exercise, eh? So then I went and looked it up, and I found out there's two versions of it. There's the floor one, and there's the wall one. A lot of the instructors tell you to start with the wall one first. But I'll have to stick with that anyway. Because like I said, that leg injury is what caused me to not be able to get down on my floor. That ended any time. Like, I used to lay on the floor and all that, like when I was a kid. I could never do it after that again. Because once I get down, I can't get up. See what else I want to get her to do today. I wish I could find that mission. I don't remember where it's at. You know, the one where you go in with the gun blazing and you gotta take out them thugs. It's probably really good for my legs and me having that muscular problem. Because I'm telling you that I do something similar with a leg lift. that the clinic gave me years ago. And I don't do the leg lift like I should. Like even over the years, I'd like only do it every once in a while. That's another thing I was a failure at. Like if I'm at the gym, I'll do it like sitting, because you can do it in a chair. You can do it either laying back on your back, or you can sit in a chair and do it. And I would like do it like you count. I think it's 4 times 20 with each leg. And you're supposed to do it so many times a day, and I do good to get one in. But that planking, it's good for that too, because I feel it act in the same places. Like it does the same as the leg lift on the legs. Although I'm not good at getting on my toes, I'm gonna be honest. My toes are terrible. I got terrible feet. I do the best I can. Now, like I said, I'm starting to feel tight through there. 4 days in. I've been doing it for 5 days, but I skipped one day. It's been 5 days ago since I started it. Whew. See, I'm not feeling good today. Probably because I'm tired. I don't remember what time I fell asleep. I eventually just fell asleep. I didn't even look at the clock. Could have been daylight for all I knew. Sometimes I sit and look at the clock like I'm watching it, and I'm watching it get old. I'm watching the hours go by. I'm watching the hours go by. And I get up, and it's another hour, and it's another hour, and it's another hour. I didn't do that this morning. It's late. So I don't know when I fell. Take this car back home. Have I already talked about Kanye West? What he did, what he's been saying lately? Y'all know what he's saying is partially true. I mean, true. You can get damage to your... You can really get damage to your head up there. I believe him. I mean, somebody said he only started... No, he was crazy back then. I remember this guy named Mark Dice used to call him out all the time. Kenye's always been this way. I mean, ever since I've known him. He's been kind of that way. He just got worse and worse over the years. I noticed that. He got worse and worse. I believe him. I was even praying for him for a lot of times because I thought he needed it. I believe him, y'all. I don't believe he's just making an excuse. I mean, you can literally tell. I mean, you can tell something's wrong. I mean, you can see it. I mean, it has a pattern. Like sometimes he'd get up all night, sending tweets all night. I believe him. He's not just making an excuse, y'all. He's not making excuses. That is real. You know, a lot of that happened to some of the serial killers. Sometimes it makes serial killers. People were lucky he's just crazy and... crazy. Because sometimes that what happened to them makes people serial killers. It does. I've read up on this. You can get damage to that area of the brain and it can mess things up pretty bad. It can foul up everything with a person. He's not just talking out his ass. He's not just talking out of his ass. Oh, I gotta deposit their money. I'm gonna deposit their money. And then I'm gonna go try to do a race or something. Make some more money. That's a good amount she made today. You see that? She's almost back closer. She's 23 now. You know, she added nearly 300,000. I bought that place. I'm gonna clean this glass. I'm having trouble reading. That means I need to make it. I really do believe he really is. Because I'm telling you, you can see something's wrong. I'm telling you, I've been seeing it for years. I've been praying for him for years too, y'all. You know, when he started having his little Christian stuff, I was praying for him back then. I really was. I was praying for him. Because I got to thinking something was wrong. I mean, I just noticed it. I noticed I said, something's wrong here. He's not... This ain't normal for a person to be like that. So I started praying for him. Instead of attack. Oh, I'm going out. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, we'll go and restart it. We'll come back. I wasn't planning to do that. I was planning to get into the jobs. Yeah, I knew something was wrong. I need to even talk to myself here. Because sometimes I can be the I don't give a fuck, or I'm not concerned, or I'm not paying attention. But really, when we see people struggling like that, we really probably ought to pray for them. And just imagine how better this world would be if we all did each other like. We'd have a better world, that's for sure. If we'd see something and think that something's wrong and start praying. Because God hears us. And I'm just as guilty as the next man. I'm not preaching to you. I sometimes just live my life being concerned with me. A lot of the times I am. And every once in a while I'll notice something and then I'll start praying. Let's do some of the stunt racing. I hate them because I get stuck in them. I don't want any of those with the planes. What's this one? They ain't showing me a picture or anything. We'll try this one. I mean, that's exactly what God told us to. I mean, even the New Testament tells you, pray for one another. It tells you should do that. And most of us are too busy to worry about it. I mean, that's what it is. You're too busy. Like the working man, he's got to take care of his family. He ain't got time to worry about everybody else. He's got to get out here and make a living for his family. It's not on purpose. We don't do it on purpose. Now, every once in a while, something will stick out to me, and I'll think, this person needs prayer. I've done it many times in my life. Kenya was one of those, by the way. Kenya was one of those. Kenya was one of those that I got I need to pray for me. This was even before he even claimed to be a Christian. This is right before he done it. I just felt the need to pray for him. Obviously, Kenya was kind of picking up on that because he turned to God. Did you notice that? He must have been sort of picking up that God was hearing something about him because his ears must have been burning. I'm telling you, I started praying for him because I got to thinking something was wrong. That wasn't phony, y'all, by the way. People accusing this of being a phony. He wasn't being phony. I'll tell you what was happening. God was picking up on him. God was there with him. He felt it, and he tried to turn to him. That's what happened. He felt God with him, because I was praying for him. And I might not be the only one praying for him. There might be somebody else praying for him. You never know this world. If God put it on their heart to do it, they might be doing it. Well, that's barely going. I don't know how many laps I got of this. Guess I'll just have to ride it for how it is. Am I going right? Yeah, it's still going right. In other words, Kanye was feeling God in the darkness. That's why he tried to turn to him. He felt God there with him because somebody was taking the time to ask God to be with him. And Kanye, buddy, God's still there. He'll be there, but he'll still be there. He'll still be there. He don't care what you did. He'll be there. He's always stuck with me, and I'm not the best either. Oh, am I terrible? And he's been with me at times. I felt him. He's still there, Kanye. He's still there. That's probably what happened to Kenya. He probably got to reading those letters, and he probably just ran wild with it. Because I'm telling you, most people don't realize the scope of it. What I was telling y'all today is the scope. God got tired of them at that time. He gave it to the Gentiles, but he's going to redeem those 144,000. And that's where people gets off. They get into those conspiracy theories and hate the Jews on that. That's what happened. People gets into those. And I'm telling you, you could get that by reading the Bible. I'm telling you, I could go there if I read it and then get the grasp of what was been said. See, I started out with the book of Revelation, but I was interested in Bible prophecy. So when I read it, I get what they're saying. But if you didn't completely, like, there's a lot of pastors who won't even focus on the book of Revelation. They're scared of it. They won't focus. Or they're afraid it's going to scare their flock. And they won't even focus on it. As those 144 he's going to restore. And that's going to be the nation of Israel. He's not talking about that current Israel that America made. America and Britain. I know they don't want to hear that. But he's not talking about that. That's a fake Israel. That's the synagogue of Satan that they talk about in Revelation. That's the synagogue of Satan that he talks about. The real Israel is going to be that Israel of the 144 Jews he saved. In the time. It's going to be the Israel of the Bible. I'm not trying to offend anybody. Like I said the other day, when I come out of the box, I'm not going to worry about who I offend anymore. I'm going to say whatever God's put truth in my heart. I'm going to say it, and I'm not going to worry about what offends someone. Indeed, I prayed for the boldness. I prayed for the boldness to fall on me. But sometimes I do hold back. I don't want to hold back. Unless it's something I don't need to say. Then I've asked him, he can tell me to stop. And God, yes, that still stands. And if I don't stop, it's on me. You won't even have to remind me at the judgment, because I'm going to remember myself. Because I gave him permission to tell me. I gave him permission because he told me he couldn't. Well, I'm telling him he can. Indeed, I'm commanding that he can. Like the one commanded him in to heal his household, the soldier, and he was impressed. I'm telling him, I'm commanding him that he has the right to tell me what I need to hear, when I need to shut up. And I probably do need to shut up about this certain thing. But I mean, the fence is still there. I'm going to try. I was praying about that last night, by the way. I posted a bunch of Bible verses. By the way, she had the nerve to get on there and laugh at my Bible verses. Of course she's going to laugh. She's a phony. She doesn't really believe in God. She's not his in me. My sister pointed her out. She said, that's her. It probably is her. She's obsessed with moon. She calls herself a moon child. You want to know who else called himself a moon child? He was the evilest man. He's the father of the moon children. His name is Aleister Crowley. His name is Aleister Crowley. Now, he's looked up to him. Many of the rock stars even looked up to him. But he's a piece of shit. Taking advantage of people, having sex with multiple people. He's a narcissist. Really, that's what he was. He's just a narcissist. He had that one gay dude he used. Old guy was in love with him. He's considered the father of the moon children. Oh, 666, Aleister Crowley. The moons are beautiful. I got nothing against moons. They're beautiful. So is the sun. I like it both. I like the moon and the sun. That's a worship too, by the way, sun worship. That's one of the worships. Sun worship, the sun god. You know how many people will sacrifice to the sun god? The Mexicans were bad at that. Oh, they had that temple. They'd take you up there and they'd throw your heart, tear your heart out while it's beating, and throw you down the temple. A sun worship. By the way, that's what the swastika is. It's the same. It's the same thing. The swastika. People make a big deal of it. It's just a sun mark. It's just a sign. Hitler stole it from a window. He had this favorite church, and it was on the window. That's where he got it. He liked it on that church window. A stained glass window. But I do need to back off because it's kind of good it's in the past because we don't have to deal with those people. I know they wanted to break us and make us feel isolated and make us feel like we're not missing anything. We didn't need to be there anymore. We didn't need to be there and playing chicken. Let's play chicken. I'll probably feel it. Didn't need to be there anyway. Can you play it on your own? I guess you can. Didn't need to be. Let's go this one. I like that. I was technically only friends with two of them there anyway. The two brothers. I didn't have no problem with the mom and daddy. Kinda liked their daddy as a wrestler. I thought he was funny at the time. That doesn't excuse the abuse we went through with that son. They kind of allowed it. I mean, it was my sister he mainly abused. Like I said, I was only that last 2 months. Well, I actually started before then to come in that gym starting. I just didn't start. I didn't buy it. He was trying to start something. I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it. How do we do that? What shield? Which button shield? What's one shield? Does it tell? Which one shield? I don't remember which button shield. You hit the X when you hit that blue mark? Oh. I don't remember which button to shield. Oh, I don't remember. My brain can't remember which button it is. Oh, there we went. Oh, I don't see which one it was. Which button was it? I guess we'll just have to drive this the best I can because I can't remember. I can't remember the shield button. I like that car though. It's like a nice car, man. I'm doing the best I can. I don't really care as long as if I get paid anything. I don't care. But right now we're just trying to make some money. That's all I'm doing right now. Where'd I go? Oh, I see it's up the road. Those blue things got me off. You see those lines there? They're kind of green. They look blue when the light shines on. When that headlight shines on, they kind of look blue. My eyes. Oh, it's getting closer to the flag. Still going right? I guess I on the flag. Yeah, we're going towards the flag. We're going towards the flag, y'all. I even see it up there. I made it. Praise to Jesus, I made it. I don't know how good I done. try this one. I don't know if I'll be able to drive it or not. We'll find out. Here we go. There's the... I fell. Oh, shut up, B. B. Where am I going? I know how to shelf now. I just couldn't remember. My eyes couldn't read either. I'm having kind of trouble reading today. I know what it is. My eyes are swelling. I really need some eye drop. I've been the way when people's racing. Fuck off. Look out. I love that car too, man. That's a nice car too. Look it go. There to pull the nitrogen down. Yeah, suck it. Went to the wrong one. That's what that second. Alright. I'm gonna do one more before I quit for the day. I'll take her to the casino so she can do the spin. Which one I want. Is that one again? Let's go 72. We'll go with 72. I fell. Where's the turn? There. Drive's pretty smooth. How do you do this, actually? Hell, god damn it. That's the wrong button. Ah, man, I threw myself off the road. remember how to control it anymore. I can't read what that button says. Too small. Annie Wilkes. Sounds just like her. I call that Annie Wilkes. If you ever listen to Annie Wilkes in the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Sounds just like her. Anyway, unless I don't feel like it or I forget. Might be less on this weekend. We'll see. Thinking about trying to start working on an album again. So I'm going to go through my material. Find out what lyrics I have that I won't. Don't try not to do any fillers. I'm going to try to make a full album and stuff that I actually want to do and not fillers. So if I disappear this weekend, I'm probably working on my album. I am going to go ahead and go back to free mode. I'm going to get off for a while. On for an hour and 26 minutes.
This is not your grandfather's radio. This is the future.
I'll get over there and see how much money she wants.
Where the hits aren't just played, they're prompted and generated. No dusty tapes, no tired recordings, just pure, living sound, born from the pulse of AI. We are the neon glow in the night. We are the distortion.
Back in the apartment, change her clothes and all that. Oh yeah, it's gonna take her to the casino so she can spin.
Remage it. Your future soundtrack unleashed. Plug in. Power up. And ride the wave of tomorrow. Only on Rock and Roll 100 FM.
This is not your grandfather's radio. This is the future. Welcome to Rock and Roll 100 FM, where the hits aren't just played, they're prompted and generated. No dusty tapes. No tired recordings.
Didn't earn any money?
Just pure.
Oh yes, she did.
Sound.
There it is.
We are the neon glow in the night. We are the distortion in the wires. We are AI Cyberpunk Radio. Your favorite hits, reimagined. Your future soundtrack, unleashed. Plug in.
I have to try to do some of those every day to make up for that money she spent.
Only on Rock and Roll 100 FM.
Which way we go down? I don't remember, man. Oh, yeah, here it is. We go down here. Wish you could go out on that porch. Is that the bathroom? Wash your nasty eyes. And then I'll change your clothes. Wash your nasty eyes. I won't repent. That was what I was sent here for. No reason to ask forgiveness. I actually don't have a reason to ask forgiveness when people do something against me. The only thing I ask is, Lord, forgive me for how I react, and what if I react to it bad or not. Forgive me of that. That's the only thing I ask for.